Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. James here, and today I'm going to be talking about how you can help your friend or loved one overcome their gaming addiction, or even if you can at all. Now, this is something I've seen a lot of, whether it's in forums, in online groups, just talking to people, and they always ask me, how can I help my brother, my friend, my partner overcome their gaming addiction? And a lot of the times the answer isn't simple. I wish it was. I wish you could just tell them or give them a program or a book to change their mind, but that's not how people work. Usually it requires them to make the decision on their own. They need to take action themselves and realize that it's a problem before they can make real change. But that doesn't mean you're entirely powerless. There are still some things that you can do if you want to help persuade them and influence their decisions further down the line. And generally there's two ways to go about doing it, depending on who you're dealing with. And a lot of my focus is on guys, because they're usually easier to help make a change. You could be a bit tougher on them, but it also applies to the women in your life as well. And the first general thing that you can do is tough love. You can be rude to them, you can tell them they need to get their life together, you can make them realize how bad of an impact how much of an impact gaming is having on their life, and they'll either resent you, or they most likely will resent you to start with, but over time it might start catching on that maybe there's a problem, maybe they need to fix something, and they start looking for a solution. And this is something I see that's more common, it's more easier to do with guys and brothers, because you're coming from a place of genuine love and you've spent your entire life with them. That the downside, of course, is that they probably will resent you, at least to begin with. And depending on how harsh you are, how long you do it for, they may keep resenting you and just go further into their addiction. But in some cases, I've seen people actually create real change with this, usually guys or brothers doing it. And what happens is they might resent them to start with, they might hate them for saying these things about them. No one likes to be attacked, but over time they start realizing, they start making that connection that, hey, maybe something's actually wrong and I need to start trying to fix it. The second method, and probably the most popular, is to lead by example. So what this means is that if you both played video games in the past, for example, me and my cousin used to play all the time together, what you can do, and usually people have someone that they spent a lot of time playing video games with, if you break away from video games and you focus on yourself, you barely even talk to them, you just focus on building an incredible life full of happiness and passion, and you really do amazing things with yourself, eventually they'll start catching on and realize what gaming is costing them. By continuing to play video games, they're missing out on all of these incredible experiences. It doesn't always work out like that. Sometimes they get stuck in their ways, but just that's the nature of this whole problem. You can't force someone to change. One of the only ways I found people truly change is through a life-changing event. Maybe they hit rock bottom, maybe a loved one leaves them, maybe someone dies, maybe they're in a horrible accident or something. It's things like that that bring about instant, huge, dramatic change in someone's life. Getting someone else to do it is a gradual process that might not always work and might make them go further away from you to begin with. But if you've already lost them to video games and they're destroying their life and you can see that, are you better off leaving it, or is it worth trying to help them? Usually the answer is it's worth trying to help. So you can lead by example and build an incredible life yourself, and even try and invite them out on experiences. Ask them if they want to go hiking every other weekend, or go camping with you, or go to a show like theatre or music, anything like that, a comedy gig, and get them involved with things, get them talking to other people. Maybe they've been single for a long time, get them out there, push them out of their comfort zone, and they might resent you. Like every other thing on this list, they might resent you to begin with, but they'll start seeing over time what their life could be like, and then you can send them resources, send them my YouTube videos, my programs, get them thinking about video games being a problem, but never force it on them. Never tell them that you need to stop gaming. Never, unless you're using the tough love approach, never just give them the answers. Let them figure it out on their own. And the last method on this list, number 3, is to come from a place of pain in your personal life. If they're particularly close to you, maybe a good friend, a relative, a sibling, something like that, a loved one, what you can do is let them know how it's affecting you. So what this looks like is having an honest conversation with someone, sitting them down and saying, look, I know you want to play games, but it's really hurting me. It's causing me so much stress. I'm starting to doubt my feelings for you. I feel disconnected. I miss what our life used to be like, and be completely honest with them. Let them know how you truly feel when they're playing video games. This can be an incredibly powerful way for someone to realize that what they're doing is causing problems, because when we're stuck in that addiction bubble, when we're playing video games all day, we only see what's happening in our own reality. We only see how bad our life is. We only see the mess that we've made in our room. We don't look outside, basically. But our gaming addiction is causing so many problems for so many other people, our parents, our siblings, our loved ones, our friends. And they need to know this. If you know someone who's trapped in the virtual world, they need to know what effect it's having on other people. And I've mentioned these 3 things as separate methods, but this one you can apply in any situation. Combine it with other things and just try and pop that bubble that they've surrounded themselves in. Try to get them to make that realization on their own that if they continue with this habit, with this addiction, it's going to have dramatic effects on not just their own life, because a lot of people, a lot of addicts don't care about what happens to their own life. But once they realize that it's happening to someone else, that other people are feeling these same things, then they might start to change. They might have that realization moment where they want to do something about it. And that's when you can step in and help, offer support. Don't give them the answers. Don't just tell them to do this and this. But at least they're listening. At least they might realize that gaming is a problem. And if they come to you and say, you know, you were right. I've thought about it and I think I need to do something about my gaming habits. I'm playing too much. Do you have any advice for me? Then you can let them talk, offer some solutions if they want it, and that's when you can start helping them make a real difference in their lives. So to summarize this video, you can go the tough love approach and tell them to get their life together. Tell them you're not going to be your friend anymore and you're going to leave them to it if they don't fix their habits. Do whatever you want. Again, this works better with guys, brothers, that kind of thing. The second approach is to build your own life and kind of leave them to do what they want. Eventually they might see what kind of things they're missing out on, what experiences, and start doing something about it. This is something you should do anyway. You should start, if you're not already working on building your incredible life, then that's something you need to do anyway. But it's a good approach of getting someone to have that realization moment. And then the third option, which you can do anytime, you can combine it with others, is to let them know how it affects you from a place of genuine honesty. Open up, sit them down. Don't just talk to them while they're playing. Get them to stop. Get them to turn everything off. Get them to put their phone away so they can't be distracted, and just have a conversation with them. And hopefully this has been helpful for you. If it has, let me know in the comments below what you're going to do. If you've got a relative, a friend, sibling, a loved one that's addicted to gaming, and their story, what you've tried to do to help, and I'll do my best to help you help them if you leave a comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, you know that, all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.